Chichen Itza, Mexico. On the Yucatan Peninsula lie the ruins of an ancient Mayan metropolis that prospered between 750 and 1200 AD. In 1969, Erich von Däniken stood before the site's iconic pyramid, El Castillo, and experienced a revelation. I was in front of this incredible structure. I had no idea what it meant. I collected every available text written by Central American archaeologists to figure out what this monument represented. And that's when it clicked. The stories spoke of otherworldly visitors. Naturally, they referred to them as divine beings. According to Mayan tradition, their supreme deity was Quetzalcoatl, or Kukulkan Cuchumats, each a variant of the same god described as a feathered serpent, a flying snake. Whatever people witnessed overhead seemed best explained as a snake in flight. Globally, Chichen Itza holds great significance. It's said to be one of the spots where the gods arrived and issued edicts that shaped humanity's destiny. M.U. CICPLAYING music playing a specific temple there, El Castillo, the castle, produces a stunning visual effect during the equinoxes of March 21st and September 21st. In the early morning hours, the sun begins to rise. As it climbs, sunlight and shadows create a pattern of triangles down the stairway. This is caused by the 9 tiers of the pyramid. The shadows move downward as the sun rises higher in the sky. The implication is unmistakable. The god Kukulkan came to Earth and promised to return in the distant future. This idea of return was carefully encoded into the very design of their temple. This is one of the key insights Erich brought forward, not only in the context of Chichen Itza, but across many ancient locations. He zeroes in on overlooked aspects and says, here's something vital. These features are technically complex. They're the kind of details mainstream archaeology often ignores or explains away. By connecting the Mayas' astronomical precision with their architectural alignment, Erich von Däniken became more certain that his ancient astronaut theory held deeper weight. To gather more evidence, he studied another Mayan structure, one that some claim represents the first recorded ancient space traveler, Lord Pakal. At the ancient Mayan site of Palenque, a tomb was unearthed in the 1950s. Inside it was the sarcophagus of Lord Pakal, its lid carved with intricate symbolism. That stone cover showed a detailed depiction of Lord Pakal, but what he appeared to be doing was far from ordinary. The image shows a man leaning forward, posture similar to someone riding a motorcycle. His face is connected to what looks like a breathing mask. His upper hand adjusts a lever. His lower hand operates controls. He's seated on a device that resembles a chair within a capsule. When Erich studied this lid, he interpreted it as a Mayan ruler inside a spacecraft, blasting off to the stars. That bold reading became a highlight of Chariots of the Gods, and when others examined it after hearing his interpretation, many saw the same striking possibility. Could Eric von Däniken be correct? Was Lord Pakal truly a visitor from beyond the Earth, an entity who might have shared advanced technology or wisdom with early civilizations? Music playing Central America, the awe-inspiring ruins of the ancient Mayan city known as Copan. Although the temples, pyramids, and ceremonial grounds of Copan are considered among the most treasured Mayan relics, much of the attention has been drawn to a 72-step structure referred to as the hieroglyphic stairway. Built in the early 700s AD, the hieroglyphic stairway was created to chronicle the royal history of Copan. It was more than architecture. It was a timeline carved in stone for all to see. It stood as a grand testimonial to the reigns of Copan's kings, beginning with Yaxcoch-Mo and continuing through the lineage, all the way to the 13th king who commissioned the monument. The symbols carved into the stairway, known as glyphs, represent what scholars now view as one of the most sophisticated and ancient writing systems ever developed by the Maya. Yet, for generations, the glyphs found across Mesoamerican sites remained indecipherable. Then, in 1880, a German librarian and anthropologist named Ernst Forstemann managed to unlock their meaning. Forstemann cracked the puzzle. He was a librarian stationed in Dresden. At his desk, he kept one of the only surviving Mayan manuscripts, the Dresden Codex. He was a man of numbers, deeply rational, and possessed rare intuition. Long before scholars could read even one Mayan glyph, he began making sense of their ancient script. Maya glyph writing functions with two core systems. These are its building blocks. The first are logographs. These are visual signs that convey entire words. For example, Balam, which means jaguar, has its own distinctive symbol. In addition to logographs, there's a second system used. These are known as syllabic glyphs. Rather than representing full words, these symbols stand for phonetic sounds, breaking down language to its auditory components. Interpretations of the hieroglyphic stairway suggest the inscriptions don't merely tell royal tales. They narrate the divine and genealogical origins of Maya kings and priests. What we see in the glyphs is a deliberate effort by Maya rulers to highlight their spiritual authority. They underscored their lineage, tying it directly to sacred ancestors and divine figures to justify their right to lead. This photo captures a detailed sculpture of Waxaclajun Uba'a Kawil, the 13th king of Copan. He's carved here in ceremonial garb. Next to him, the artisan etched a series of glyphs into the stone. Although the general population may have been illiterate, the ruling class was not. A king or noble could recite the glyphs aloud to audiences, using them to prove his semi-divine nature and divine favor from the heavens. But what truly empowered Maya leaders? What force gave kings and priests their authority? Some believe the glyphs reveal origins that stretch far beyond Earth itself. Those who subscribe to the ancient astronaut theory argue these rulers were descendants or protege of non-human intelligences. What we must reconsider today is where these priests and leaders drew their legitimacy. The earliest among them may have communicated directly with beings from the stars. These extraterrestrial encounters, misinterpreted as divine acts, placed rulers above the masses. Their miracles weren't magic, but misunderstood technology and knowledge. Over 2,000 years ago, dense jungles and fertile lands of the Yucatan Peninsula served as the heartland of Maya civilization, one of antiquity's most advanced societies. Experts believe that between 250 and 900 AD, the Maya population grew to between 15 to 20 million people, stretching from Mexico through Guatemala and even Costa Rica. During this era, they developed hieroglyphic script, practiced complex math, and built immense stone observatories, all while Europe struggled through the Dark Ages. The Maya are hailed as pioneers, masters of architecture, astronomy, and advanced sciences, while their European counterparts were still entangled in medieval chaos. Yet the most astounding Maya innovation may have been their star-based calendar, a timekeeping system more intricate than any of its era. Timekeeping for the Maya was sacred. They meticulously tracked Venus, the moon's phases, eclipses, and especially the precession of the equinoxes, a slow astronomical shift spanning thousands of years. To illustrate, each year, say March 15th, the Pleiades would rise in the sky. After 72 years, they would appear one day earlier. After 26,000 years, they'd return to the same day. The Maya believed time cycled endlessly, like celestial patterns. Their long count calendar spanned 5,125 years and ended on a precise date, December 21st, 2012. But why that date? What did they anticipate? To answer that, we may need to examine a celestial phenomenon at the very core of our galaxy, where something extraordinary may reside. There are no stars, yet the Mayans claim to know where the center of the galaxy lies. They even described it as a vast void, a black hole they referred to as the Great Rift, stretching a light year across. The Maya believed this mysterious zone was the universe's origin point, a kind of cosmic womb, and on December 21st, 2012, they marked an alignment. Earth, Sun, and this dark rift perfectly in line. An alignment that occurs only once every 26,000 years. Could it be pure coincidence that the Mayan long count calendar ends precisely on this rare astronomical event? And how did the Maya gain such precise knowledge of the stars without telescopes or modern instruments? According to Maya tradition, their wisdom came directly from the gods, divine beings who lived among the stars. Could these gods have been something more? The Maya themselves claimed this wasn't self-made knowledge. It was a gift bestowed upon them. And in those days, the ultimate gift wasn't material. It was knowledge. Knowledge, they believed, was the currency of the cosmos. music playing. Some 65 million years ago, Earth was struck by an asteroid roughly 8 miles wide, traveling at nearly 12 miles per second. It slammed into the area we now call the Yucatan Peninsula with unimaginable force, equal to 100 million megatons of TNT. The collision was catastrophic. A deep crater was carved into the planet's crust. Debris was flung skyward, blackening the skies. For months, maybe years, sunlight vanished, triggering a cascade of extinction. As plants withered from lack of light, herbivorous dinosaurs had nothing to eat. Soon after, carnivores starved as well. How quickly the extinction unfolded remains a topic of scientific debate. But could it be that some species survived? That certain dinosaurs endured long after the initial cataclysm? Could they have even coexisted with early human civilizations? Just miles from the epicenter of the impact lies one of the most significant Maya cities, Chichen Itza. The question lingers. Was it pure chance that the Maya chose to settle near ground zero of Earth's most devastating impact event? Chichen Itza, according to legend, was a place where the Maya communed with the gods. Of all possible sites, they chose a place where something massive fell from the heavens, and some believe that communication with these sky gods continued even into recent centuries. That raises a deeper mystery. Was it coincidence or evidence of a pattern we've overlooked? Because what few have dared to explore is the possibility that the location itself holds a greater secret. Across Maya and Mesoamerican lands, strange carvings and murals have been discovered. Images of pterosaurs, long-necked creatures, and what resemble dinosaurs. This includes the temple paintings of Bonampak. How did the Maya know what dinosaurs looked like? These animals supposedly vanished millions of years before humans evolved. Yet their likeness appears in Maya art. What explains this? If mainstream science is correct, dinosaurs were long extinct before humans ever emerged. So why does Mayan iconography depict creatures that mirror them? Could these depictions be more than symbolic? In ARRATOR narrator, beneath modern-day Mexico City lie the buried ruins of the ancient Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan. From the 14th to 16th centuries, the Aztecs ruled central Mexico, and this grand city was their crowning achievement. Tenochtitlan was more than a city. It was an engineering marvel. It had canals, causeways, and a citywide grid. But according to Aztec lore, this wasn't where they began. They traced their roots to a mythic origin called Chicomostoc. It was said to be a cave, a place with 7 chambers, home to 7 original tribes. The Aztecs believed they were descended from those tribes. Mysteriousmusic, mysterious music. For centuries, Chicomostoc was seen as metaphor, but archaeological evidence now suggests it may have been real. Some scholars link it to a vast pyramid site just north of Mexico City, Teotihuacan. Under the Pyramid of the Sun, one of Teotihuacan's major structures, lies a vast cave, and within that cave are 7 branching chambers. This has led researchers to believe it may be the very place described in Aztec mythology. The Aztecs believed their ancestors emerged from this sacred space. And according to a 16th century Spanish chronicler, Jerónimo de Mendieta, he recorded the stories passed down by the local native people. According to their traditions, the Aztecs believed they were created by a group of gods who had become stranded inside the 7 sacred caves, Jonathan, Jonathan. In his writings, Mendieta documents a legend describing a giant flint knife crashing down from the sky. The earth trembled violently as it landed. Crashes, crashes. Then, from within this massive flint knife, some 1,600 gods emerged. These deities were said to be the ones who established Aztec civilization. Dwin. Edwin. The Aztecs spoke of a time when many gods came down to earth and formed humanity. They shaped human beings using bone, ash, and their own blood, fashioning them partly in their own likeness, but specifically to honor and serve them. Giorgio. When ancient texts describe a giant flint blade descending from the heavens and someone emerging from it, we must ask, were these ancestors witnessing some kind of craft landing? If so, the Aztec origin story could be interpreted as evidence of extraterrestrial involvement in the creation of humanity. And something deeply mysterious seems to have occurred at Teotihuacan, Arrator, narrator. Just 30 miles northeast of Mexico City lies the sprawling complex of Teotihuacan. Spanning almost 8 square miles, it dates back to the 1st century AD. It is the oldest, most sophisticated urban center in Mesoamerica, a region that stretches from northern Mexico through Central America. This city predated the Maya by more than a century. At its height, it may have supported as many as 100,000 residents. Before the 15th century, it was the largest city in the Western Hemisphere and served as the central hub for trade and religion across the region. Edwin Teotihuacan's importance can't be overstated. It was the Rome of Mesoamerica. Its innovations and city planning shaped the design and governance of future city-states. An Arrator narrator, its most iconic features include the massive Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon. At its heart is the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent deity. These monumental structures flank a central thoroughfare, the Avenue of the Dead. Alongside it are more than 200 other pyramids, altars, and platforms. Just beyond, thousands of dwellings suggest a once thriving metropolis. And yet, despite its grandeur, no one knows who built Teotihuacan or where its people went. Edwin. For a city of this scale, it's strange. There are no written records. Other Mesoamerican civilizations left behind glyphs and inscriptions. Teotihuacan is silent. We have no names for its rulers, no narrative of its rise or fall. And still, they built a colossal and complex citadel. When you look at the precision, the engineering, the artistry, it's baffling. Where are the prototypes? Where are the earlier, simpler versions that led up to this? There's no evidence of gradual development. It just appears. So we're left asking, where did it come from? D-A-V-I-D, David. We've been trained to believe that these ancient works were built using rudimentary tools and methods. But we need to challenge that assumption, because what we're seeing is craftsmanship that demands more advanced technology than history credits these people with having Dontanoye. RRAT or narrator Teotihuacan, Mexico. In 2003, archaeologists uncovered a shocking secret beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, one of the most revered pyramids on the continent. 45 feet underground, hidden for centuries, lay a sealed tunnel. Archaeologists used a robotic probe equipped with infrared scanners to navigate through layers of debris. Nearly 250 feet in, the tunnel opened into a chamber. There they found something entirely unexpected. Dozens of metallic-looking spheres, Edwin. These orbs are unlike anything I've ever seen in archaeological contexts. They're made of clay on the inside, but their surfaces are coated in golden flecks, giving them the appearance of shimmering gold balls. An ARRATOR narrator. No one knows for sure what these mysterious orbs were used for. Some believe the chamber was used in sacred rituals. Even the walls of the tunnel shimmered with golden dust, suggesting the space held deep ceremonial significance. If a torch had been lit during an ancient ceremony within that cavern, the golden flecks covering the walls and spheres would have reflected countless points of light, mimicking the stars in the night sky. AVID David. These striking yellow orbs could symbolize something greater, perhaps celestial bodies. The Maya, after all, developed a calendar system precisely tuned to planetary orbits, particularly those of the inner planets. ARRATOR narrator. The connection between Mars and the Mayan calendar is well documented. In the Dresden Codex, this rare manuscript is one of only 4 surviving books created by the Maya. In essence, it is an astronomical almanac. Different sections of the Codex reference a variety of celestial phenomena. One of the most significant focuses on the red planet, Mars. Near the end of the book is an almanac that breaks time into 10 periods of 78 days, totaling 780 days. This matches the synodic period of Mars, the time it takes for the planet to return to the same position in Earth's sky. DRAMATICM dramatic. Music and ARRATOR narrator. Scholars believe this alignment confirms Mars' critical role in Mayan. Astronomy and astrology. Above the Mars Almanac is a sky band filled with glyphs and celestial icons, and hanging from it, a distinctive dragon-like figure. This creature is widely interpreted as the symbolic face of Mars, giant stone heads, sculptures resembling flying machines, statues that echo artistic traditions found in distant corners of the world. According to ancient astronaut theorists, these clues may reveal what certain institutions tried to erase. 5 centuries ago, the Catholic Church undertook a campaign to wipe out indigenous knowledge, destroying codices, temples, and traditions, particularly those of the Maya. And the question remains, how did the Maya and other ancient civilizations acquire such advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and architecture? When asked, their answer was always the same. The gods gave it to us. mysteriousmusic, mysterious. Music and arrator, narrator. If true, the presence of extraterrestrial visitors and even evidence of global contact would have posed a profound challenge to the authority of the Catholic hierarchy, especially during the Inquisition. But assuming these visitors did come to Earth, where did they go? Why did they abandon their missions or disappear entirely? Childress. Some say war, cataclysms, or societal collapse brought these ancient civilizations to an end. The airships stopped arriving. The demigods, our supposed extraterrestrial teachers, retracted their technology. We don't know exactly where they went or why they left. Maybe they decided it was time for humanity to take the reins. Maybe they chose to vanish and observe. From afar, an arrator, narrator, ancient astronaut theorists maintain that the proof is still out there, hidden beneath centuries of earth and stone. But every day, the clues emerge. Between February 2018 and March 2019, archaeologists made groundbreaking discoveries in Mexico alone. Mayan artifacts were uncovered at Teotihuacan, a city previously believed to have been solely Aztec. At Chichen Itza, a hidden cave revealed more than 200 additional relics. And in the jungles near Lake Pátzcuaro, LIDAR scanning exposed an ancient city the size of Manhattan, Giorgio. In the early 90s, it sounded like science fiction, satellites that could peer beneath the jungle. But that fantasy is now reality. With LIDAR, we can scan the ground and uncover hidden ruins, and what we've found so far is just the beginning. I believe we're entering a new golden age of exploration. Thousands of lost cities still unknown are waiting to be found. Think of a jigsaw puzzle. You don't need all 1,000 pieces to see the full picture. Put down 980 and the image becomes clear. Narrator. Narrator. Are we standing at the threshold of a transformative discovery, one that confirms extraterrestrials once visited Earth and shaped our history? Could the final proof lie beneath the ruins of a newly uncovered site in Mexico? A single artifact, a single inscription, might confirm what many have long suspected, that humanity's origins are far more cosmic than we ever imagined. Teotihuacan, Mexico. This vast metropolis dates back to at least the 1st century AD. At its peak, it was home to 125,000 people, making it the largest city in Mesoamerica. One of its most revered monuments still towers above the landscape, the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, dedicated to the god Quetzalcoatl. Edwin Quetzalcoatl, the Feathered Serpent, dates back to Olmec times, even before the Common Era. But the first place we truly see Quetzalcoatl rise to prominence is in Teotihuacan, just north of modern Mexico City. Around 250 AD, they built a grand pyramid, a temple dedicated to Quetzalcoatl. It was likely Teotihuacan that established Quetzalcoatl as a central deity for much of Mesoamerica. Quetzalcoatl was a creator god associated with the planet Venus. He was believed to bring rain, water, civilization, and the arts. For the Aztecs, he was the divine originator of culture, a flying serpent, a dragon. Hugh Quetzalcoatl brought peace, harmony, and profound wisdom. He represented intelligence and teaching, arriving on a raft of serpents and settling on these lands. He was often depicted in human form as well. Edwin Quetzalcoatl also appears in the post-classic Maya city of Chichen Itza. But there, he goes by the name Kukulkan, the holy feathered serpent in the Mayan language. An Arrator narrator, Chichen Itza, about 900 miles east of Teotihuacan, is home to another massive stepped pyramid, dedicated to Kukulkan, the Mayan counterpart of the flying serpent. Erich at Chichen Itza. The Pyramid of Kukulkan is famous for a remarkable natural phenomenon. On March 23rd each year, as the sun rises, the play of light and shadow creates a series of triangular shapes that seem to crawl down the pyramid stairway, ending exactly where the serpent's head sculpture rests. On September 21st, the effect reverses and Kukulkan appears to vanish, again a product of sunlight and shadow. This clear message has endured through the ages. The god Kukulkan descended to teach humanity and then disappeared once more. Ecosiar Giorgio. This is living mythology carved in stone, a deity descending from the sky, frozen in architectural form. Illiam William. One wonders if this serpent-like phenomenon is a symbolic recollection of an actual event. Perhaps a craft landing and descending, a moment so profound it became immortalized in stone. Arrator narrator. Could the Pyramid of Kukulkan be more than a temple to a mythical dragon god? Could it commemorate the arrival of an extraterrestrial spacecraft Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and suggest this serpent motif is not unique. On the Greek island of Euboea, 25 mysterious megalithic structures called dragon houses dot the landscape. Gio Giorgio. The main dragon house sits atop Mount Ochi, the island's tallest peak. The name Ochi comes from the Greek word meaning to descend or to drive. According to legend, Zeus descended from the heavens onto this mountain. An arrator narrator, local tradition, claims these stone houses were built by a giant dragon to honor Zeus. In ancient Greece, dragon described not just flying monsters, but also gods or beings with human forms who possessed superhuman powers. Taken together, the dragon house may have been seen as a meeting place between heaven and earth, a landing site in UFO terms. Gio Giorgio. My view is that the dragon was the craft itself. The creators, the teachers, emerged from it. Our ancestors witnessed what seemed like a crew disembarking from a flying machine, an arrator narrator. Some ancient astronaut theorists argue that the structures themselves provide proof of extraterrestrial visitation. The Dragon House on Mount Ochi is built with massive megalithic blocks weighing up to 10 tons, located nearly 5,000 feet above sea level. Giorgio archaeologists struggle to explain why such a colossal structure was constructed at such an altitude. These massive blocks, some up to 10 feet long and 2 feet thick, were placed precisely in this remote location. In my opinion, this was the site of an extraterrestrial visitation, where Zeus himself may have descended in his craft and established a temporary base camp. Arrator narrator. Could these stone monuments in Greece and Mesoamerica mark the very spots where otherworldly visitors landed? And could those visitors have eventually returned to the stars, leaving behind only myth, legend, and stone?